Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the fierce journeys, real stories and extraordinary people living in the middle of the ocean. In today's video, we will take you to a stormy and glorious world, the world of American fishermen. Silent warriors who conquer the sea day and night to bring back hundreds of tons of tuna every day. Not only a profession to make a living, tuna fishing has become a symbol of will, courage and spirit to overcome all challenges. With modern boats, advanced fishing techniques such as industrial purse seine and traditional hand lines, these fishermen have created miracles in the middle of the vast ocean. Tuna, a fish with terrible strength and speed, is caught from a depth of tens of meters, processed right on the deck, and continues to be carefully processed after docking at the port to be shipped around the world. We will follow them from the moment they leave the dock at dawn, through days and nights of struggling in the vast ocean, each giant tuna subdued, until they are packaged, frozen and appear in luxury restaurants in Tokyo, New York or Paris. Prepare yourself, because what you are about to see is not just a fishery, it is a great industry. An inspiring story of people and the sea. The journey begins. In the vast ocean, where the waves roll relentlessly, giant American fishing boats quietly leave port every day, carrying with them the hope, resilience and determination of the people working in the sea. Welcome to today's special journey, where we will explore how Americans catch hundreds of tons of tuna every day by combining industrial fishing nets and traditional handline techniques. Not only do they catch, they also process it right on the boat and continue to process it further after docking, a closed cycle that is large-scale, efficient and imbued with the spirit of the modern marine industry. The story begins when the boats leave port at dawn. The faint light penetrates the thin mist, reflecting on the sparkling silver waves. One by one, the fishermen board the boat, carrying their tools, supplies, fishing lines, trawls and the belief that today will be a bountiful day of fishing. On deck, the captain checks all the control systems, radar, GPS, and the net workers are busy preparing the purse seine system, making sure every detail is perfect before the ship sets sail hundreds of nautical miles. In the deep waters off the Pacific Ocean or off the coast of California, giant yellowfin tuna, bluefin tuna, and many other valuable tuna species live and move in large schools. That is where American tuna fishing boats come to, not only because of the large yield but also because of the economic value that these fish bring. Hundreds of tons of tuna per day, an unimaginable number, is a reality every time the ship returns to port. Modern fishing technology combined with long-standing experience has created an amazing working efficiency. When the radar and sonar system detect a large school of tuna moving, the captain orders the team to prepare to drop the net. A giant seine net system hundreds of meters long is lowered, forming a circle around the school of fish. Once the fish are in the circle, the towing system is activated, slowly closing the circle and bringing the entire school of fish closer to the ship. This is an extremely important stage. If the operation is not precise or too slow, the school of fish can escape. Or worse, the fish are damaged and lose their commercial value. Meanwhile, on the other deck, another group of fishermen prepares the hand lines. This is a parallel fishing technique, using a net to surround the large school of fish. While using long fishing lines with hundreds of bait hooks to selectively catch the strongest fish. The fishing lines are lowered deep into the seabed, each strand hundreds of meters long, with small fresh fish baits such as herring and mackerel attached to lure the largest tuna. When a tuna is hooked, the fisherman will slowly pull it with an electric reel or by hand, ensuring the fish is still alive and not damaged. Each bluefin tuna can weigh from 80 to 300 kilograms, with some particularly rare ones reaching 500 kilograms. When pulled up, they struggle violently, swinging their bodies violently, causing chaos on the deck with shouts and splashing water. The fishermen have to coordinate closely, using specialized hooks to hold the fish tightly, then quickly put them in the deep freeze storage compartment or transfer them to the processing area directly on the ship. One of the special features of this fishing process is that the processing is carried out right on the ship. When the fish is brought up to the deck, the processing team begins work in a space designed like a mini factory. Each giant tuna is cleaned, its organs removed, and roughly sliced to ensure maximum freshness. The workers wear aprons and gloves, working at high speed but still precise with each knife stroke. Some parts of the fish, such as the belly, the valuable fatty part, are immediately sorted and stored separately in a deep freezer at -60°C for export to Japan, where bluefin tuna is considered a delicacy in high-end sushi restaurants. Other parts of the fish are packed in boxes, labeled with traceability barcodes and placed in a cold storage system on board the ship. This system is automatically temperature controlled. Using liquid nitrogen or CO2 gas cooling technology to ensure that the fish always remains as fresh as when it was just caught from the sea. Thanks to modern preservation technology, after being caught, tuna can maintain its quality for weeks until it reaches the dock and is delivered to processing plants or exported. The trip usually lasts from 5 to 10 days, depending on the weather and output. During this journey, the ship does not stop. After each successful catch, the fishermen take a few hours to rest and then continue to go out to sea to catch a new batch. The work is hard, often facing big waves, harsh weather and lurking dangers, but they still persevere at sea. Each tuna caught is not only the result of their labor but also the pride of the entire fleet. After long days at sea, the ship's hull is full of sea salt, the smell of fish, the smell of engine oil and the salty sweat of the sailors. And it is time to turn back to port with enough fish. The freezer system is carefully checked to ensure that all the tuna is preserved in the most ideal conditions. On the return journey, the crew does not rest. They take the opportunity to clean the deck, check the equipment, maintain the nets and fishing lines, and prepare for the next trip, because their lives are closely tied to the endless rotation of the ocean. As the ship gradually enters the port, the refrigerated containers are prepared. At major ports such as San Diego, Honolulu or ports along the west coast of the United States, seafood transfer stations operate around the clock to receive fresh fish from the ship. Large cranes extend from the shore, gently lifting each frozen container or each giant tuna ashore, bringing them to the processing plant. Here, a more modern process chain will continue to operate. Tuna is checked for quality in many ways, from meat sensory, color, elasticity, to measuring internal temperature and microbiological testing. Only those that meet the highest standards will be selected to make sashimi or export to demanding markets such as Japan, Korea, Europe. The remaining will be classified to make processed foods such as canned fish, tuna sausage, or ground into high-quality animal feed. In the sashimi processing area, the air is always kept cold below 10 degrees Celsius. The air filtration and sterilization system operates continuously. Well-trained technicians fillet the tuna with knives so sharp that just one cut is enough to separate the fish perfectly, without crushing or breaking the meat fibers. Each piece of fresh, smooth pink meat is arranged in plastic boxes, vacuum sealed, packaged and shipped to supermarkets and high-end restaurants. The fish heads, spines, fins, and internal organs are not wasted. They are used to make broth. grilled tuna with salt, or exported to Asian countries where the culture of using the whole ingredient is practiced. In particular, the belly of the fish, called otoro in Japanese, is a fatty, sweet and extremely rare fish meat. The value of each kilogram of otoro can be up to hundreds of USD and is always sought after by gourmets. Americans are not only good at catching tuna, but also have built an entire industrial chain revolving around this fish. From catching, processing, exporting to nutritional research, developing new products, even regenerating fish resources through artificial farming and protecting fish populations in the wild. Large seafood companies in the US invest millions of dollars each year to ensure the sustainability of the industry. Traceability is achieved by QR codes on each product, allowing consumers to know exactly where the fish they're eating was caught, by which boat, and on what day. What is amazing is that this large-scale industrial fishing process is harmoniously combined with traditional values. On board, there are still old fishermen who have spent their lives at sea, passing on their experience of catching tuna by hand to the younger generation. They believe that, no matter how modern the technology is, human skills, patience, and acumen are still the deciding factors in the success or failure of each sea trip. There are evenings, after a long day of work, the whole crew gathers for dinner, telling each other stories about encounters with giant tuna, about storms that almost capsized the ship, or about the day a young man caught his first fish. Life on board is not easy. Sleepless nights due to the waves, back pain, blistered hands from pulling the line, life or death moments when a large tuna suddenly struggled and almost pulled the person into the sea. But it is these things that create a spirit of steel, an unyielding will. American fishermen clearly understand that each fish they catch is not only a meal, a coin, but also the crystallization of labor, experience, and national pride. We cannot fail to mention the marine rescue teams, storm warning radar systems, and meteorological stations that constantly update weather information to ensure the safety of fishermen. The US government invests heavily in building fishing port infrastructure, supporting occupational hazard insurance, and especially training young fishermen so as not to break this long-standing tradition. Vocational colleges and marine research institutes have opened many modern training programs, both teaching fishing techniques and imparting knowledge about protecting marine ecosystems. Returning to the journey at sea, each time the ship docks, a new cycle begins. After unloading all the tuna, the ships are refueled, restocked with food, fresh water, ice, and the entire technical system is inspected. The work goes on almost non-stop. The old crew is replaced by a new team that has been trained in advance. Those who have just returned take a short rest, then return to the ship and continue on their journey. There are people who spend up to 300 days a year at sea, with only a few weeks to rest with their families, but they still choose to work at sea, because they love this job as part of their flesh and blood. American fishermen go to sea not only to earn a living, but also because of their passion for conquering the ocean. Every time they successfully catch a fish, they take pictures with the giant fish, sharing their joy with their colleagues, as if they had just overcome a great battle. Some people say that tuna is not just a fish, it is a symbol of the power of nature, of resilience, endurance and the spirit of never giving up. Catching a giant tuna is a testament to the bravery and skills of the seafarer. Because of the huge economic value of tuna, the market for this fish is also very vibrant. The US is one of the world's leading tuna exporting countries. American tuna products are available everywhere, from supermarkets in Tokyo, restaurants in Paris, to high-end sushi bars in New York. American seafood businesses invest heavily in branding, ensuring international standards of food hygiene and safety, traceability and sustainable development. Another important part of the fishing ecosystem is the logistics processing plants. Here, tuna is separated to create many different types of products, suitable for the diverse needs of the market. These plants operate in a closed chain, from preliminary processing, cleaning, filleting, packaging, freezing, labeling to distribution, modern technology is applied to ensure quality, increase productivity and minimize loss. The factory workers, most of whom are experienced or professionally trained, work at high speed but still maintain absolute precision in every step. Many fish parts are used to process high-end canned foods such as tuna in olive oil, spicy tuna, or smoked tuna. These products are exported around the world, becoming symbols of American cuisine on international dining tables. Meanwhile, the meat scraps or fish bones are fully utilized to make high-end animal feed or nutritional supplements. The tuna industry in the US has no concept of waste. Everything is utilized to the maximum. In addition to economic factors, Americans are also very concerned about the sustainability of tuna fishing. They understand that if they only exploit without preserving, the ocean will be depleted. Therefore, many policies have been applied, fishing according to quotas, using positioning devices to avoid affecting other fish species, banning the exploitation of young tuna, controlling seasonal fishing time. A number of international and non-governmental organizations also participate in monitoring, ensuring that fisheries operate transparently, responsibly and protect the marine environment. On modern vessels, there is also the presence of marine scientists. They record data, tag tuna to track their movements, study reproductive behavior and population biology. These data are extremely important in planning sustainable fisheries development policies. The combination of fishermen and scientists helps create a harmonious exploitation-conservation model, which many other countries learn from. It can be said that each tuna caught not only has economic value, but also contains a chain of activities linked from the sea to the dining table. It is a combination of people and technology, tradition and modernity, exploitation and protection. A piece of fresh tuna sashimi on a Japanese dining table can be the result of a journey of thousands of nautical miles, going through dozens of stages of processing, inspection and transportation. In the context of climate change, the tuna industry also faces many challenges. Rising ocean temperatures cause fish migration routes to change. Schools of fish move farther and deeper, forcing fishermen to upgrade their boats and invest in new equipment to keep up. Some sea areas that were previously major fishing grounds have now depleted fish stocks or have been closed due to conservation requirements. But instead of being discouraged, Americans choose to adapt. They learn more about biolocation technology, switch to semi-wild tuna farming models, use natural food and control reproduction to ensure a stable supply.